Hopefully finishing up this quest. Alright, let's get fucking going. Alright, got that. Good. Shouldn't say Dying Light. It still says Dying Light. It's not Dying Light, though. I changed it. Why does this still say Dying Light? There you go. Alright, good. Afternoon, Grandma 2. What's up, sir? Ekum bokum to you as well. Play some anime Breath of the Wild thing right now. See how that goes. But how are you doing, Grandma 2? Thanks for coming by the stream. Alfarius Omegon, what's up, man? Oh, good old Corona. Alright, and remember, chat, never, ever let evil take root. Alright, let's get to Genshin Impact. Okay, so here we are. We're here. Fortunately, this is... Oh, you're doing great? That's good to hear, Grandma 2. I'm glad to hear when people are doing great. I gotta once again change over to controller, because I got my PS4 controller in. It's lame, I can't use my Switch Pro controller in this. And for some reason, my Switch Pro controller is breaking my Hades for some reason. Really, Soy? Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, Paimon. Let's go find some shit. That's right, and I got a 5-star sword with my maid Noelle, so it's gonna go. Oh, hello. Nice. Alright, so this is the Statue of the Seven. Some mint. Already got those. Yeah, no way am I setting this to English or Chinese or Korean. This is definitely gonna be... Noelle has a 5-star ass? I don't know about that. Let me see. We can see that. No. I think we're gonna have to go to a hill if we're gonna validate that claim. Let's see. Well, let me see. We'll see about that, Alfarius. I don't think we can do that. These developers. Remember, Alfarius, this is what they took from us. Ooh, chest. She does. Spencer! What's up, Spencer? How you doing? That. Here. Chest. Oh, glide. Oh, that's a good point. Alright, I'll need to find a long glide. Ooh, a crystal. Ooh, a crystal core. Right, this. The Chinese are against degeneracy. Alright, let's go up this hill. You ate a late breakfast? Yeah, I just ate some leftover stuff I'd eaten already. Alright, let's see. Come on, you gotta be able to get that angle. Wait. Okay. It's not bad. I'll concede the point to Alfarius. Yeah, so climbing works. Okay. Yeah, let's say it's okay. Not bad at all. Just Remember FBI? That's Alfarius. Oh my god. You can upgrade your weapon. Yep, no, I've upgraded my weapon, Spencer. Oh, hello. Who the hell are these guys? What? I don't recognize you at all. Oh, hey. Oh, fucking goblin. Got him. What's wrong? These monsters are in the gorge, so the Knights of Favonius wouldn't let me through. Too dangerous, they say. Jean has a great ass. Hey, Speznat! How's it going, sir? Thank you for the lemon. Speaking of which, I'm not still in Discord. No, I'm not. Okay. Am I in Discord? No, I haven't been in a while. Try to roll her, but your luck has been shit. That sucks, man. I've been waiting and waiting until no signs. They'll let us through anytime soon. I would have expected a little more efficiency from the illustrious Knights of Favonius. Your adventure, huh? Well, go on then. Get in there. Take out a few monsters for you. What an ass. Why are there so many people here? Manly Jack? Shoo. Ah, you're just a traveler. I was convinced that you were a hilly churl. What are you doing? Well, ever heard of a little something called manliness? That fellow Jack from the Adventurers Guild. He knows all of... I should be doing a Duke Newton voice. Good to hear, man. You're in a Teams meeting? Oh, shit. So I shouldn't be yelling gamer words while you're in a Teams meeting, right, Spez? I'm sure you're muted. Boring stuff. Yeah, no, I just got out of a Teams meeting myself. I got to go off to lunch. That fellow Jack from the Adventurers Guild, he knows all about it. Says that if you defeat 10,000 hilly churls, then everyone suddenly sees you as Mr. Manly Man and so on. So I am currently getting ready to prove once and for all that I am the manliest man of the lot. Go on then, I'm watching. Whoa, I'm taking my time over this. Don't want to rush into it and make a fool of myself now, do I? Hilly churls are the most terrifying creatures. You don't go up against a hilly churl without some serious preparation in advance. You know, filing your nails, styling your fringe, what a queer. Nice. No, go away. Oh my god. I'm out. The road to manliness is long and hard. Yeah, you might be right about that, Grandma, too. Alright, let's talk to this guy. Oh, he's got a mask. What a badass looking dude. Leave me alone. I don't do small talk. Oh, what a chat. Alright, let's go kill this shit in this cave. Hello. Twin Jack has a better name. Yeah, no, Noelle, because Noelle comes in the guaranteed role, that was nice of them to do that. Oh, you... Oh, no wizard. Oh shit, well, it was easy. It's possible, Grandma, too. Divine scroll? What the fuck? No. Who are we saving, woman? So I think the best way to get this is probably just to climb. I just climb vertically. See what happens. Oh, it doesn't let me. Alright, well, climb a different rock. Is this the Moonlight Greatsword? I believe it is. I'm not sure. 'Cause I got this from a roll. It is... Let me find it. Let me answer that for you. That is... No, this is Skyward Pride. This one I actually got from a roll. Pretty badass, I have to say. That is a nice view. Oh, more enhancement. She doesn't have the badunka. You love the amount of hidden chests and puzzles? Yeah, I do actually like that. It's kind of nice. It does make exploring rather satisfying. I will concede that point. And the combat isn't... Hey, Tango. What's up, Tango? The combat isn't, like, super great, but it's also not... It's not boring. It's just, if you're... It's very hard to find where you're actually balanced for the game. You're either, like, super over-leveled or super under-leveled, so fights are usually either, like, a super joke or they're, like, super impossible. Oh, she doesn't have big boobs? Yeah... She's a bit flat, unfortunately. She was not blessed by the god of peaches. So, the answer is yes. The answer is yes, Fed. It's both a PlayStation, a PC, a mobile game. It's all of those things. Ow. Yeah, it's actually all of those. I don't like how it controls on the phone. The PlayStation is kind of tied to your PSN account, so it's kind of eh. Well, I don't know if I would call getting a 5-star weapon lucky, like, because I'd rather have, you know, another 5-star character, but I don't know if I'd call this lucky. It's a decent sword. I'm happy to have it. But I'd probably rather have better care. Actually, I'll sit in the Discord. I'll be sitting in the on-air in the Discord if anyone wants to chat as well. Yeah, you can cross... Oh, so you can cross-save on the PC for the mobile, so you can take it with you on the go, but you can't do that with the PS4? Oh, that's lame of them. Yeah, that is lame. That's why I'm playing on the PC. Well, I mean... Temple. I'm definitely not level 30. Get some more mint. All PS4 games are like that. Yeah, that is fair. I'm not even close to being able to roll. I would love to get Jean. Jean's a badass. But this is actually a banner. Let's see what I can do. I'm still short. I'm still short after I rolled for that sword earlier. Sony are cunts about that. Yeah, they are. Interesting. Alright, so I need to get up there, though. Oh, I've got to go up there. Venti? I disavow Venti. You're saying male Venti is based? Is that true? Oh, wow. That was bad on my part. Hey, here. Get back here, you hog. Whoops. Oh, hello. Well, that's not that hard a thing to do. Oh, hello. Nice. Speaking of which, I can level the sword a bit. Nice. He's a bro and doesn't smell like cat shit. Based. Alright, let's see. I don't have any 4-star weapons, but I do have an artifact slot, right? Yes, I do. Okay. I've got the adventure set. Let's do that. Oh wow, these guys are strong. Would male Venti stand for Gar? Oh, hello, new adventure rank. Could male Venti conceive of what? Get defense on the well? Her skills scale off defense. Oh. Like I said, I haven't played a ton of this. I've just kind of run around. Let me see. What does my sword even do? It just does attack. Oh, so I see. You're saying artifacts with defense. Ah. All right. None of those do. None of those do. Do any of these? Okay, perfect. So what I'll do is I'll use one of these. Adventurer's Goblet. Okay, I'll use it on her. And then... Woman. Wait, what? What is going on? There we go. Let me see if any of these do defense. Here we go. Nice. Okay, she's got this with defense. Good. Okay. And then let's go with one of these. You're still early in level, so don't worry about it now. That's fair. I know, but if there's a place I can optimize it, I'm super down to do that. Gosh, she's a cutie. I like her. She's a cutie. Wait, what's instructor do? Elemental mastery. Oh, do I have any other instructor things? Ooh. Her shield makes you basically invincible? Based. Oh, that's right. And then you, main heroine, and the boy. Shiny boy, what do you got for me? Be sure to use all the skills when off cooldown. Yep. Yeah, I think this is fun for a free-to-play game. I agree with that. Shonkyu, you're going to get that. You will get... And then you will get... this. It does encourage swapping heroes. It's kind of neat. It's your host, the ghost they call the Ghost. What's up, Weeb Waker? How you doing, sir? Good afternoon, Weeb Waker. Oh, hello. There's a lot of these dudes. What's this? Cryo Abyss Mage. Oh. I see. Oops, actually. Hydro Abyss Mage. Okay, so they all have weaknesses. That makes sense. Nice. Alright, got him. Exquisite chest. Ooh, experience. You get free gems for reading all the tooltips. Make sure you scroll through all the way to the end. Oh, that's a good point. Oh, god damn it. Thank you, Weeb Waker. Oh, I feel like a dumbass. Thank you, Weeb Waker. Think. Interesting. Yes, yes. All right, all right. They really set it up so you go invisible in that? Wow, fuck you, China. Look at this. What even is this? Why would they do that? But then, but here's the thing, guys. Okay, they do that, and then when you glide, like when you glide, it's perfectly visible. What the fuck, game? Do you know the way? Like, you do that, and then you fucking glide, and it's like, oh yeah, there's the ass. It's like, what the fuck? What? That's just retarded. Like, I didn't even care, but now that you've taken it from me, now I want it. Oh, shit, where am I going? Like, see, for example, right there. Like, what the fuck? Like, you can't do it whilst climbing, but you can do it just by gliding. Like, what the fuck, game? The hell's this? That's just weird. Whopper flower. I didn't know Burger King sponsored this game yet. Alright, let's do this. Oh, whoops. Ow. Shit. Can't even open it yet. Unless, is the key on top of that? That's kind of cool. And like, oh, I see. I see what you've done, game devs. Cleverly designed this outfit.
Huh? Huh?
Wait, what? Ooh, a better bow? Nice. There's that there. Some. Oh, shit! A traveling doctor's handkerchief. Nice. Okay. Well, I think I came from over there, which is fine. Tinkle's Giga Chad. No, no, no! Oh shit, almost fucked up. Alright, let's let the stamina recover. And then... Alright, now. I like the little rose she has. I like all the roses she has on her outfit. Like, it looks kind of cute. Like, okay, let's look. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4... Wait, is there ones on her feet, too? No. She's got, like, 4 different roses on her. She's got a shield as, like, in her hair. Are you asking why I'm staring? Great question. Oh, you fucker. Oh, hello. Oh, shit. I know I could just bring a fire dude to fight this guy, but I also have like a fuck ton of defense, so it may not be a problem. Oh shit, got gear, nice. Alright, so where's the last piece of this so I can get that chest? You. Up we go. Ah! Gotta get the one up the hill. Come on. Respawn. There. Atta girl. Alright, let's continue. There's something over here. Oh, hello, big guy. Nice. Oh shit, the thing's big. chest. That. Ooh, another chest. Okay, got those. Probably could have just blown up that exploding barrel. If I wanted to. Might have been the ideal way to approach it. Speaking of which, let's look at my achievements. Anything else I missed? Nope, nope, nope. That's good, that's good. Let's see. Am I close to being able to ascend? I can't ascend because I'm not even at level 50. I'm not even adventure rank 15. But I got that piece. I gotta get those pomegranate things. Twitch is fine. Alright, you, on the other hand, need to be leveled up. Miss Chuni-chan. Yes. Damn it. Nice. Alright, what bow do we have? So you got this bow equipped. It's level 20, that's fine. Well, you're max level. Oh, I should level her sword. But which sword do I want to use? Crits or regular attack? Bane of water and ice. Yeah, we'll go with this, and then we'll enhance it. Actually, no, wait, we're gonna go first to Noelle. Also, you need to be leveled up, don't you? Yep. I haven't leveled him up at all. Oops. Errors have been made. Alright, Noelle, let's level up your sword. Nice. Atta girl. Wait. Uh-oh. Paimon, what the fuck, bro? Fireflies. I've already gotten this. Now what is over here? Whopper flower nectar. Nice. Hello. Oh yeah. Easy money. Alright, do I need to cook anything? Oh, I've got to light a fire. I don't have a fire. Interesting. Easy money. Oh, hello there. Hey. Sorry, Pit. Sorry, Mr. Boar. It was your time. Ah, the waterfall. Here we go. Whoops. Oh, shit. Adawolf with 1 viewer and the host. Thank you, Adawolf, for the host. What's up, man? How you doing, sir? Just playing some Genshin Impact for my lunch break. How's it going, man? But thank you so much for the host, Adawolf. I see you, bro. How you doing, man? I'm sorry I couldn't join you for Japanese Spider-Man, but I remembered I had D&D on Saturday. My D&D session goes from like trying to survive the transfer deadline day. That's a soccer thing. Is it like the last day you can trade players? Is it, if I'm, forgive me because I only watch American sports ball, Adawolf. Is that like the trade deadline in baseball and basketball? And you're kind of just like, you want to make sure your favorite player doesn't get traded? Or are there just a lot of transactions going on? Oh, I was so close. Oh shit! Whoops. Errors are made. I suppose I fell. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I mean, you know, in a normal year where sports aren't getting, like, super political and paused, like, normally, like, yeah, I live for that kind of shit. Weed Waker. I know, I fell. Lots of ins and outs. Okay. Trying to climb to the top of this hill, Breath of the Wild style, while getting cucked by this weird. Come on, Noelle. Gotta go a little bit higher. Almost there. Shit, I'm not gonna make it. Quest area reached. You signed some 18-year-old from an Italian club for 30 million? What the fuck? That's nuts. Nope. Fuck! No! No! God damn it. Okay, so like I can barely almost make that damn thing. Can't join until January, but he's supposed to be the next big thing. So I guess would you say he's like a prodigy, like I don't know. I don't like LeBron James as a person, but like kind of like Kobe Bryant, you know, how Kobe Bryant was 18 and like got him in the league, you know, or what else? Who's the guy that was on the Pacers? Jermaine O'Neal, stuff like that, you know, where like way ready ahead of his time. It could be a good signing, could be a stupid signing. How many years did it cost? How many years? Was it 30 million for 1 year, Adawolf, or was it 30 million for like a 5 or 6 year deal? And like, how much of that is guaranteed? How many are soccer contracts guaranteed? Because I know like that's a big point of contention between the NBA and the NFL is that NBA contracts are all 100% guaranteed, and NFL contracts are like guaranteed, not guaranteed. But is it 30 million of the total deal, or is it 30 million of Yeah, I think I just missed it there. I tried to do that, Alfarius. Hey, buddy, what do you got for me? Show me the way. Okay, so make sure I always do an attack out of it. 100% guaranteed. Damn. And, like, I know we're talking about grown men getting paid money to play sports ball, but, like, it's very interesting, that kind of dynamic and that dichotomy. Nice.
これで間に合いますね。
What's up here? Oh, hello.
任せてください。
Ha! He missed. Oh, you're in the ring room? Oh, absolutely. One sec. Hey, Ada Wolf, what's up, man?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, shit. I've just... God damn it. I accidentally paused and hit circle twice, and it took me to the shop menu, which is for some reason the first option in this. Oh, how's it going? So you're saying it's basically trade deadline for soccer? Or
Yeah,
footy?
so international trade deadline.
So is this specifically for Euro leagues?
Yeah. Well, international in general. So, some leagues close earlier in the day. I think England is got like 3 more hours left.
So now is the trade deadline for the team specific?
So basically, the reason that there's 2 trade windows. There's one in the summer that's the long one, and then there's one in like January to like February. That's usually kind of like
Does it
not
basically
usually
start
big.
when the season ends? When the season ends, does it start the like next trade window?
Pretty much, yeah. So in January, because it goes from like August to like
綺麗にしませんと。
April, May. So there's one in January, which is kind of like oh shit, we've got like a bunch of broken players, we need to get somebody in. Like January is like kind of that window, like emergency signings. So they have one in like January. Something bad happens. Which actually did happen to Barcelona last year. They had a bunch of forwards that were injured, and the trade window was getting ready to close, and they actually got express permission from the league, from the Spanish league, to like sign players outside the window, which I thought was kind of bullshit, to be honest. But
これで謎は
Barcelona is
that
one of the
league.
teams that might face Manchester.
well, no, they're just a big Spanish club. You know what I mean? It's like, how can you not have like, thought ahead? It's kind of irresponsible in my opinion. But
Well, I mean,
not only that, but they also have a Barcelona B team that plays in like the lower divisions of Spain. So it's like, why even have a youth academy and a B team if you're not even gonna call up those players to come play for you? They're all on the same contract. You know what I mean?
Wait, so you're saying it was like an inter-team transaction at that point?
ただその噂
Yeah, they got him from another Spanish team.
Oh.
And it was like, well, gee, you know, it's Barcelona, so let's make special rules for, you know what I mean? I guess it is rules for everybody, but let's be honest, it's kind of, they're kind of like they're kind of like the New England Patriots, you know what I mean? They're a big team, and they get away with a lot of bullshit.
Or like the New York Yankees or the Atlanta Braves, but
Yeah, exactly.
like,
It'd
it's
be like
funny
if-
because you bring up like international player. This is all international here, but like a couple years back in baseball, like baseball is really weird about international player signing because like unless they've played, like there's a reason why Ichiro came over at the age of 28 from the Japanese league, and it's like
Right.
specifically because like he was able to get like a real contract after that. That's why
That's
when
weird.
Shohei Ohtani, the two-way phenom that's kind of been heard on and off more or less lately, came over, it was a really big deal because if he had waited like 2 to 3 years, he would have gotten like a massive contract. Instead, he's getting paid like pennies on the dollar what he's actually worth. But
That's weird.
the way international signing money works is that like I think it's something that you can actually trade around. So like teams with really good international like scouts, like you know like the Yankees or the Mariners who have a really good Japanese system,
Right.
or the Braves, right? They go around and they buy up a bunch of international money. You know, like they'll go and be like they'll trade, you know, like low draft picks, they'll trade, you know, like players that are high upside, you know, but like high risk. And
Well, the Mariners used to have that Nintendo connection too,
yep.
right?
Oh,
So, like,
absolutely.
didn't-
Yeah. No, that was a huge
Nintendo
reason.
had that. Yeah, Nintendo had a Japanese team as well, so they were like kind of feeding into it. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember which team
Didn't they-
it was, because it might have been just like the prefectural team, because they definitely would sponsor it, but I don't like Rock 10 has their own team. They're a big e-commerce platform. They have the Rock 10
Right.
Tohoku Golden Eagles, but I guess the point was that the Atlanta Braves a couple years back they kind of skirted the line of what was legitimate with the system or not legitimate with the international signing bonus system. And the league actually punished them. The league said basically you've gotta like give up all these players, and like everyone who was like first on waiver wire, they all got like top international prospects from the Atlanta Braves. That's how my Angels got Andrelton Simmons, who's a really good shortstop. But like they basically, I don't remember what
They got massively punished for breaking the rules. Yeah.
Yeah, basically no one had ever been punished, and so the team, of course, was just like, yeah, okay, we'll try to skirt the line. Why not? You know, like we want to get like a bunch of top level talent without having to, you know, trade a bunch of draft picks or, you know, develop it. It's like these are really good international players. And the rules used to be different. It used to be just amateur signing, but you know, then the Yankees could just go buy all the best players, which I mean they more or less did, but you know, or it was kind of difficult. But it's funny to see it actually enforced, and then here, like in soccer, or European football, where just like a team like Barcelona could just totally abuse the system. But
Yeah, well, like they have a special rule set up, but you know that like any other club that asked for that was gonna get told to fuck off. You know, like it's because they're Barcelona that they got to use this like weird
loophole,
like sideline loophole rule. A couple of years ago, was it like a year or two ago? So there's a rule like just generally in FIFA that you just can't transfer players that are under the age of 16, and that's like an anti like human trafficking rule. So yeah, it used to be a problem actually. People would get human trafficked through the youth academy levels system.
No, it's like name of the ice cream. You're serious?
I'm dead serious. So what happened was like 2 years ago, Chelsea got caught like signing some 15-year-olds without like approval. And so they had a transfer ban last year. They couldn't buy any players. But for Chelsea, what they like to do, this is a team in London, Chelsea. What they like to do is they like
Chelsea, right?
Well, it's like the Chelsea district of London.
Oh,
you know?
okay. So it's
Like,
okay.
like London's like basically like a giant
It's a giant
pie.
metro. So it'd be like different parts of like LA.
Right, yeah. Like I don't know, like when I lived in Colorado, I was like living in Englewood, which is like 15 minutes like south of Denver, right?
We have an
So it's
Englewood
like,
around here.
yeah, it's still Denver, right?
Right.
You know,
You're
but it's
basically
technically
like kind of like
Englewood.
LA County or the greater like LA metropolitan area.
Yeah.
Basically,
Like
you're still
for
in
example,
London, but you're in the Chelsea like
これで間に合いますね
enclave.
yeah, that's where like the posh area of London is, like where the Ferris wheel, the giant Ferris wheel is, and like the really upscale part of like London, you know. But so anyway, Chelsea like got a 2-year, like a full year ban from transfers. But Chelsea like to get like 1 billion players. They sign players and then they send them off on loan. So they have like, you know, any given time they got like 30, 40 players out there that are semi-decent that are out on loan.
Explain
they
this
just-
to me, because I don't understand this concept. Loaning players?
Yeah, so you'll sign a player on a contract, right? So you technically own them. And then what you can do is you can send them out on a loan. So the loan club, sometimes they'll pay a fee for the loan. Most of the time they don't. But usually what they do is they take on the player's wages, or the majority of the player's
I thought
wages.
the English ended slavery. I didn't know that they...
Right, yeah,
I know,
exactly, yeah.
I'm just joking.
So, yeah, so we've got 2 of our youth academy players, Levitt and Garner. They're on loan to like lower division English teams. So
now,
it's
can
kind
you
of a good
loan
way.
with- This is a weird question. Can you loan within your division or only outside?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah. Last year our backup goalkeeper, who it was our youth academy goalkeeper, he's our backup now. Is really good. Dean Henderson. We loaned him to Sheffield United for 2 years.
Because
And
you already
so
had a
he's been-
goalkeeper you wanted. That was
Right.
better.
Well, we had one of the best goalkeepers in the world, but now he's starting to kind of like not do so well. So we brought him back this summer.
Well, it almost
when
makes
his loan
sense,
was
like,
ended.
because like you kind of want him to get like real game experience rather than just you know,
Exactly.
like even if it's for a rival team, like it's almost better to just have him like be competing instead of being
Yeah.
like, oh, you know, play against whatever you know our equivalent of like the minor leagues is.
Exactly. Well, they have like a youth academy level, but it's always good to get like actual
Oh yeah, 'cause
first
it's-
team men's football. Like even if you're playing the league below you, like you're playing every week. You know what I mean? Like that's a big difference between just being in the youth academy games.
Right, or just running practice games to practice squad. Like it's completely different.
Right.
You know, to do the traveling and get the experience around. Okay.
So that's like the smart thing to do is like you get like a 16 or 17-year-old and like, man, this kid's like really, really good, but he's not quite ready to play in like the Premier League. So let's send him to like Germany, or we'll send him to like a championship, which is like right below the Premier League in England. And we'll send him over there. That way he'll play every week. He'll learn to be a man and then come back. And if he's good enough, then, you know, maybe then we can put him in the first team.
Right, we'll figure out if he's going to go bang a bunch of strippers or get in trouble all the time. You know, you kind of see if he'll grow up.
Kinda, yeah. We actually had a guy who was really, really good.
Also, Nazik, sing with the second ice cream.
Yeah, dude, nice donations. We had a guy named Varela who we loaned to a German club, and while he was there, he was like, "I'm gonna go get a massive like sleeve tattoo," and they're like, "Don't do it because like you can't like it's hard to maintain and take care of that and like train. Like if you did it in maybe like the off season or something, sure, whatever." They're like, "Don't do it." So he does it anyway. It gets infected. And then they're like, they like sent him back because they were like, fuck you. So they like canceled his own contract and sent him back. And now
So he basically gave up his entire contract because he wanted to get a silly tattoo.
well, yeah, and then he fucked himself. He was so unprofessional. The German club was like, get the fuck out of here.
The Germans kicked him out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
that
sometimes a
happen in
loan
other
can go
sports.
really well. Sometimes it can go really bad. Like if they go loan to a club and then they don't quite cut it, or maybe the manager doesn't quite fancy them, and it was like something that was kind of done by the board, and then they just sit on the bench.
Well, I mean,
and
if
you're
it
like,
ended
well,
up
they
that you
could've just
didn't
sat on
give
the
this
bench
guy
for
like a
us.
multi-year deal, he was going to be a head case. Like, he won out.
Yeah.
You know, like, usually those things you're going to figure out eventually. You'll figure out. It's better to have someone else, you know, figure it out. I mean, you've already paid them, right? You've already given them their initial guaranteed money.
Yeah.
But you didn't, like, you know, oh, we had one good year and have this, like, honeymoon period where they keep their head together, like a Johnny Manziel situation, you know, or Josh Hamilton.
Oh, yeah,
It's
exactly.
Like, you get, like, one good year, and then, like, they just lose. I mean, Johnny Manziel didn't really have one good year. He had an average. And then he was a head case anyway, and so the league did not tolerate that.
Yeah, so we had a situation this summer where we basically dicked around. I mean, I could go into complaining about the board. The same people who own Manchester United, the same people who own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so that should tell you everything about them.
Well, they own Tom Brady now.
Yeah, exactly. Can Tom Brady play on the right wing? Because we need a right winger.
He's
we were
like
trying to buy
45,
one.
Adel Wolf. You can, like, I get that he's in shape, but he's 45 years old. You can't run out
Yeah,
with a
that's
bunch of 18-year-olds.
That's like ancient in like football years.
That's
so, like,
ancient sports ball years. It's
yeah, exactly.
you know, he's pretty
So
good
we
when
were
he's
trying-
got five giant dudes protecting him. Not really when he's just running and chasing people.
Exactly. He's not doing any sprints anytime soon. So we were trying to get this guy named Jaden Sancho, who's like basically the hot new. Like this guy's English. He's from Manchester. He grew up in the City Youth Academy. They sold peanuts to this German team called Borussia Dortmund. And we were trying to get him, but they wanted like 120 mil. And we thought we were gonna be like bad boys, right? Like we were gonna call their bluff, and we basically sat on
I have
it
a question.
all
When you
summer.
say 120 mil, how much of that goes to the club and how much would go to the player? Because I know you like have to like the same with Japanese players. Like you have to pay the club like a bunch of money to get them to release the player.
I think that's mostly to the club. Because it was like a 90 million. Like we tried to offer like 70 million plus add-ons. They didn't take it, and then we basically just called their bluff. And now we're trying to scramble and do it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Now. I think it's done. I think that deal's dead. But we tried to get this guy, right? And so as a backup, in case we did get him, we were trying to go for this guy from Barcelona named Dembele, who they bought a couple of years ago from Dortmund for like 130 mil, and he's basically played like 5 games in the last year because he's just injured all the time. And I was like, if we get him on loan, I'd be okay with that, because if we get him on loan with like an option to buy at the end of the year, if he sucks, we just send him back to Barcelona, you know? But like these bigger clubs, like in some leagues, you have to get rid of players to get new players in, like per league rules. Oftentimes we have what they call financial fair play. Like you can only spend what your club makes. So even if you're owned by like an Elon Musk, you can't just like dump billions into your team without like proving that your team generates a certain amount of like, revenue, right?
Whoa, so there's no salary cap, is that what you're saying? But there is, like, the
There is
cap
no
is...
salary cap.
But, the financial fair play is you can only spend as much as you make?
Right.
Doesn't that,
So
doesn't that favor big market teams anyway?
absolutely.
Like, I'm just like, wait a minute. I'm just sitting here looking at this like, what? Wait a minute. Like,
So Man City got busted. So Man City are owned by Sheikh Mansour, who is like one of the Saudi oil families.
Right. So, I mean, I know a lot of soccer teams. It's a big status symbol.
Right. Yeah, so they bought them in like the early 2000s, and they basically just been pumping money into the club and like trying to catch up to us. More or less, they have. They got comped earlier in the year for like basically breaking financial fair play rules, and the only thing that they got out with is they basically got out with like a statute of limitations. So they're like, oh, well, it was a long time ago. We can't determine when it happened and how accurate it is. So, no European ban, and just pay like a $3 million fine. So basically, the league had come out, like the European league has basically said, if you've got enough money, just break the rules and pay the fine, and we won't care. So like financial fair play is basically dead. So if you're making player transfers over 100 million, and you might have to account for a $5 or $10 million fee, you just throw that in with the transfer.
Right, exactly.
Say,
Like, why would I follow rules if I didn't have to?
yeah.
You know, like the Yankees for years, like, they just bought the best players and basically ran the league, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Just pay the fee. That's pretty much what Man City do. They just every year they spend about 100 to 200 million on new players, and I think they've spent a $500 million since the current managers come in on their defense, and their defense is still hot trash. So it's pretty funny.
How profitable are these teams? Or are these teams just money laundering operations?
United are, last time I looked it up, they're in like the top 10 Forbes like generating sports teams.
Franchises.
They make about it. Yeah, franchise. They make about like
But you could understand how someone like not in the loop about soccer could see this like and almost see this as like fine art, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, they make like $1 billion in profit a year. So
Yeah,
here's
like this is a way to like fabricate, you know, or legit or launder money legitimately.
It could be. I could see a case for. There's the big debate right now because some Saudis tried to buy Newcastle, and the league never gave them an answer of why they didn't approve or disapprove, and basically the Saudis just got disinterested and said fuck it after waiting for like 6 months. But one of the controversies was because the Saudi Arabians have like basically a pirated channel that's government sponsored, so they're not paying league fees for like airing games in their country.
Really?
B, the human rights atrocities, because basically what these Saudi companies do, like Qatar and all these other Middle Eastern countries with huge rich royal families, they buy up sports teams to basically sports wash their like human rights crimes, right?
So basically,
like,
just try to say like, oh, look at us. We spend all this money. You know, don't ignore that we're starving.
We're dumping money into your community. Don't be mad that we're killing journalists. Or, so they do a lot of that action shit.
I don't. I mean, like, come on. I don't think anyone in Saudi Arabia cares that they killed that journalist. That foreign.
Not in Saudi Arabia, but the rest of the world. I mean, how would you feel if you're like a Newcastle fan and then like, my owners are killing journalists around the world. Like, I don't know how I feel.
I don't know. I'm kind of at the point where I mean, I don't want anyone to be hurt, but I don't really respect journalists that much.
Yeah, I mean,
don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that that guy should have died, but it's like, it's like opposition to Vladimir Putin. You know, it's like, okay, well, what did you think was gonna happen when you dealt with the James Bond villain? You know.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not
So
saying
there's-
you deserve to die. Like, you should still be alive. I would prefer you be alive. But like, you
Nah,
fuck
I get it.
around.
I get it, but yeah, that's kind of a controversy around. But no, so like, here's our problem. We're one of the few teams. We're the richest team in England. One of the richest teams in the world.
I hear that your
we-
players should be knighted all the time when I watch your channel about soccer.
Yeah, I'll tell you the story about that. It's pretty tragic. All right, so so basically we make like almost like $1 billion every year, right? So the problem is we don't spend our own money. The Glazers who own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers bought the club on debt, so they
bad.
basically waged their debt and used the club as collateral to buy it, which should never have happened to begin with.
Not an
but,
ideal situation at all.
Exactly, and they suck money out of the club. They're one of the only teams in England that they take money out of their club instead of putting money in. Most of these teams don't make money for the owners. The owners end up having to spend into the team.
Well, one of the
Like, the
things
team-
most people don't know about the Lakers is that the Lakers are actually a family-owned team.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, people always
Kind of like
think
the
that's
Detroit
like, oh,
Lions.
the Lakers,
They're owned by the Ford family.
Oh, we do have a question from the chat. Yes, when are we gonna play Bloodborne together?
We should do it sometime this week, I think.
I think so. I think that's a good idea.
Um,
I prefer to do it in the evening because I can, I get like an hour and change for this.
Yeah.
I'd rather not be
Well,
like.
whatever. I
Oh,
can
yeah.
do it at night too. I don't give a shit. I don't
Yeah,
have
oh,
a
yeah,
schedule.
I'm super down for like go. I can go like till whenever in the evening.
Exactly.
I can go basically till you're done is when I can go, unless we go past 8 a.m. my time. Then I gotta sign into work.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah, so the problem is that they take so much money out of the club, and their big excuse for not dumping this money on this player was like, oh, well, COVID, and we don't know when, people are going to be able to go back in the stands, and, well, like, dude, you take money out of the club. Like, we're making that money. Like, just let us spend our own money.
Well, one of
You
my
miserable
favorite
cunts.
old jokes was there's a Freedom Tunes cartoon that was making fun of all the bailouts that these companies were getting, and the guy goes like, listen, because of this coronavirus outbreak, we've been losing money for the last 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we need to get money, and so
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous,
it's
dude.
like, it's so true. It's like, wait a minute, why are we bailing you morons out?
Well, and so here's the thing too. Like the guy who is like the CEO, Ed Woodward, is a banker. And then his like college roommate, Matt Judge, handles the transfers. We have bankers.
Matt Judge
and, like,
sounds like
spread-
a Chad football or baseball player, to be honest.
I know, right?
Like, I'm seeing like a guy that's like 6'8", 250 pounds, just running through people when I hear a name like Matt Judge.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So these two guys, they're good at deals, but they're not good at transfers. They don't know anything about football.
So wait, are they
We
running as the GM of their team?
Basically, yeah. So they're
Oh.
basically in charge of like the money.
So they've got like the
how
Jerry
much we
Jones deal going on for them.
Yeah, so the manager's like, hey, I need this, that, and this. Hey, here's a 33-year-old forward who's basically, he might score some goals, but he's kind of done. Here's your third choice left back, and you don't get a right winger because we didn't want to spend any money. It's like, well, fuck you. How is any manager supposed to be successful? The problem is we used to have this guy for 25 years who's knighted, Sir Alex Ferguson, the greatest sports manager in the history of sports, any sport ever.
Where did it all
25
go wrong?
Well, he retired,
Oh.
and then but he
So
ran
is
everything,
he-
right?
is he-
Like
If I was trying
he
to
was like-
couch this in American sport terms, sorry to interject, would this
No,
be
you're good.
like a Jerry West type figure?
this would be like a Bobby Knight mixed with like I don't even know. Dude.
Oh,
like,
so he was
there
actually a
for-
coach too.
Yeah.
Was he a player
like
before?
a long time ago for like Aberdeen in Scotland.
I see.
So
Because I think
he
about like
was,
Jerry West because he went and he made the Lakers great, he made the Warriors great, and he almost made the Clippers great if they weren't the Clippers.
Right, exactly. So this guy comes in, and he's there for 25 years, 24 years, something like that. 18 major trophies throughout his career. Like, we're talking like every year, man. Like, there was years we would win the league, and I was like, that was a sloppy win. I'm like, ah, man, we only won the league by a few points. Like, ah, jeez. Well, we only just won the league this year. We could have won like the Champions League. We were so close. I'm like, ah, what a crap season. Like nowadays, I would murder for that. Like, you know what I mean? But he was like that old school manager that did everything. I mean, he hired the lady at the front desk. He hired the guys in the kitchen. You know, like he ran every little aspect of the club. But nowadays, modern clubs have what they call a director of football, somebody who manages the transfers one-on-one, who has the overall vision of the team. Because managers are in and out every 3 or 4 years.
Right.
So you're like, you need a guy that kind of see the forest for the trees, right?
The
like,
big picture guy.
Yeah, the big picture guy who like goes to the board and says, I need this money because this is my proposal. Like, get this guy in and manages the youth teams. Because okay, we need to go and start scouting to add more into the youth academy. Because if you're smart, like some of these clubs out here, you scout really well. You don't have to pay these big transfer fees.
Right,
because
you
you get these
develop
guys in
them
at like
in-house before they're super expensive.
exactly. And United have a running record for 80 years. There has been a youth academy player in every match day squad. 80 years. And that was instilled back in the like the 40s and 50s by Sir Matt Busby. Like that was his whole dream for United. We're gonna go find local English talent that are young, and we're gonna bring them up through the academy. We're gonna train them, and we're gonna make them the best in the world. Because their whole lives they've been playing with us, and just get that advantage. Because this in an era where most guys that were playing football were factory workers, or you know they had another job, they didn't get paid a lot.
Right, kind
and
of
they were
the
older.
Minor
you know?
leaguers as grocery baggers thing that still kind of exists today. You know, like they only
Exactly.
make like 50 or 60K a year if they're in the lower levels of the league. But you know, then they probably have a day job at the end of the day.
Exactly. So, you know, that was his dream for United. And, you know, in 58, after the plane crashed, and like 9 of the starting 11 team died.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Jimmy Murphy, the assistant manager, basically fought the board to say, I don't want to close this club down. Because they're like, there's no way we can hire new players. We don't have the money to pay out, you know, new. And he's like, no, I'll find the money. I'll find the players. He called players all around England and tried to get youth academy players that we already had, and basically built a team and made like a hell of a run for that year.
Oh, is there a movie about this story? That sounds like that'd be a really compelling story.
Actually, there is. I plan on watching it on the anniversary in like January.
Because
so.
I mean one of the films I really want to see is Moneyball. Because I absolutely
good.
like, I'm an Angels fan, so like, you know, the fact that it's the A's for me is just like whatever, you know, rival team. But on the other hand,
Yeah.
like, I love baseball history. And
Oh yeah, it's such a compelling story.
there's so much, but like the idea that they basically just like, okay, we're gonna take all these statistics, we're gonna throw all of convention out the window, and what we're gonna just figure out how to game the game, and just like completely optimize it.
Dope.
You
Well,
know?
one of the guys that survived the plane crash, Bobby Charlton, went on to be knighted.
And when you say survive the plane crash, do you mean like he was actually on the plane?
Yeah,
Holy
he woke up
shit.
seatbelt. He woke up seatbelted to a chair in the middle of a field in a blizzard, and him and the goalkeeper, Harry Greggs. I think it was Harry Greggs. I'm trying to remember. I'm brain farting. It's a long day. Ran over to the plane and pulled out Matt Busby and like any other survivors, because they had like people's families on it. It had like, you know, journalists. It had coaches and trainers and the kit man and all that stuff. You know.
Holy
So
shit.
yeah, majority of the people died.
I'm trying to
One
think
of the players who
plane
died.
crashes anyone survives from.
Well, what happened was the plane tried to take off, and the third try and trying to take off, it just like iced over and it never quite took off. So it kind of like bunny hopped and then crashed.
Oh, so it
into a
wasn't from
field.
the air. It was on the runway,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, basically crashed on the runway.
But still, that's...
Yeah. Well, Duncan Edwards, who is an absolute legend for Manchester United, he was like a center back, like a defensive player,
Right.
but he could play anywhere on the field. He scored wicked amount of goals, like tackles. Like he was, according to Matt Busby said he never ever saw a player in his entire life that was ever that good. Like we're talking about a guy who played for his local team, his local boys team, Manchester United, and the Army team. So there was like days where he would like play for the Army and then jump on a train or a bus and like run over to United's Old Trafford and start playing there. Like this guy played like 500 games in like one season, like 1 year, like over his like career, like as like young as he was, because he just played for like so much. That's all he did was play.
500 games? Don't you guys have to play like 10 to 20 games in a
助
season?
けが必要な方がいるはず
No,
で
it's
す
like 50 games.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense.
If
So
you
basically,
include
it's
like international play, but it's like 38 games a domestic season. So, but he would play so much, man. Like he played so much, and he is absolute legend. He was the team captain. People say, you know, the year that Brazil won with Pele, and that's where like Pele became
I don't even know who
famous.
Pele is.
Yeah, Pele's like that. He's like the Muhammad Ali of like.
I'm not
football.
too familiar with
Eh,
Muhammad Ali myself either.
Well, I'm like he's like the first Michael Jordan of football.
Oh, okay. That's a reference.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like the greatest, like first greatest player of all time.
I see. So basically, like, it was undisputed, basically, like...
Yeah,
This is the
exactly.
guy.
Like everybody, yeah, he was like the guy. He would have probably never become the guy if Brazil hadn't won the World Cup that year, and they probably would have not won the World Cup if those players hadn't died, because they would have been playing for England. Duncan Edwards would have been the captain. I mean, he was that fucking good. Like, basically ruined England's chance. So Bobby Charlton went on to survive, went on to score like 200 and I think it was like 250 goals, something around that. Yeah, 250 goals for United, and won the only time that England's won the World Cup in the late 60s. But Matt
England's
Busby,
only won
man,
the World Cup once?
yeah,
Like,
isn't that crazy?
I feel
Yeah.
like they would have won it more. I mean, like me, I
You
don't
would have
give a
thought
damn about
they probably
soccer.
would have won it more if the Busby Babes hadn't died.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
That's really sad.
It's
yeah.
really sad. Like I think of like Johnny Bench, Thurman Munson, Roberto Clemente. Gosh, all the talent we've just lost to like horrible tragedy, you know.
Yeah, dude, it's
Mickey
fucking
Mantle's
tragic.
alcoholism.
Right? That's kind of what happened to George Best. We had
Lou
a player
Gehrig.
from Northern.
I mean, like man. All
Yeah,
the-
dude, Lou Gehrig. My dad loved Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
Lou Gehrig was amazing. I wish I had gotten to watch him play. I mean, granted, he's like 100 years before my time, but still wish I had gotten to watch him
旅
play.
人探したんだよ
my
結構
dad, my
楽しい
grandpa
け
used
ど
to like watching
飛
him
行
play.
免許は
Yeah,
飛行
the
免許
dude,
なんだそれ
fucking tragic. So
名
anyway,
前のまんまなんだけどその飛
but
行
like
免許を持ってい
that's
る人
why
だ
that
け
that
が
song is
こ
kind
の
of
モン
like
ド上内を
famous
飛
with
行
the
できるんだ
United
よ
fans because that song was written before
彼
the
女
plane
も
crash.
う毎日あちこ
And
ち飛んでた
the
から
irony is
みん
most
な
of
の
those
飯
guys
じゃ
were united like post-mortem, so
あ
Wow.
今日は飛行免許を
yeah,
届けに来てくれ
pretty
たの
sad
か
shit.
Yeah, that
But
is.
ま
Matt-
さか
But Matt Busby went on to
飛行
like
免許は
live,
テスト
man.
に
He
合
almost
格して
died
から
like 3 times
今
in
日
a
は試
German
験官と
hospital.
してあんたの飛行
And,
免許のテストを監督風の
it
翼
happened
を
in
渡したのは私だからね
he almost died 3
責任を持
times.
たないと
German hospital.
きっと人
Went
生
on
も
to
そういう
live,
し
started a whole new team with the same assistant coach, and like went on to win the league like several years later with a bunch of bright young talent. Just kept going, man. Never gave up.
Wow.
That's why United's like such a like an important club and a big club, because
なんか面倒
even
だ
if your
な
players are gone, like even through
Come on,
tragedy, like the club
Amber,
never
the
shut
skin
down.
got
It never stopped, and it never stopped winning.
Well, I guess
So it might have
unless
taken a few years.
In
but
like
they
a
came
less
back.
good allegory to the, or not allegory, but comparison. It's kind of like how Bill Belichick just cycled through players for years and years, but and still would end up winning all the time. Granted, he had some
Yeah,
outside help.
that's a sign of a
sometimes.
great team, right? And a great manager when you can just like lose some star players and you think, oh man, how are they gonna do it again? And like just keep doing it.
Yeah, it's like here's this random guy that we pay almost nothing, just happens to step up like crazy.
そんな目で見ない。
Yeah.
そ
So
れ
yeah,
に
he
簡単な
built
試
the
験だ
new,
か
he
ら
built
安
the
心。
new
でも
youth team
規
and
則と飛行機場この飛行
rushed
士
his
名をあ
end.
げる。
Like it's pretty
覚
wild.
えなくてもいいけど
But anyway,
理解はし
you
てお
know,
いてね。
that's why like when you just see this club being run by a bunch of fucking fools, you just think of like the Busby Babes, you think of like Matt Busby, like how he tried to like run a homegrown
例
like
えば、
team.
とにかくよく読んでおいて。
And basically, Sir Alex
These are
Ferguson kind of did the same thing. Like United had kind of lost its
Yummy.
way in between Matt Busby and Alex Ferguson. And Alex Ferguson came in the club and he's like, "We're gonna do things the Matt Busby way. We're gonna." He basically hired a bunch of new scouts. He's like, "Go around England and
世界
find me
に
the
最
best
初の
boys
風が
out
吹いた
there.
時
Like we're gonna bring him in. We're gonna
空
start
に
building
戦
up."
望を
And
抱
that's
いた
when
ス
you
ズメ
get
は
like the
翼があ
famous
るにも
class
か
of
かわらず
'92.
飛ぶことがで
Paul
きなかっ
Scholes,
た
David Beckham, Ryan Giggs, Nicky Butt, Gary,
彼
and
らは
Phil
風神
Neville.
に問いかけた
Those guys came
ど
through
う
in
すれば
like the
大空を抱き
92-ish
しめられるのかと
season.
一番
And,
大切なものがまだ見つかっていないか
everybody
ら
knows David Beckham.
そう
Right?
風神は答え
A
た
lot of people forget David Beckham was like actually a
風は
really
草原を
fucking
撫で
good footballer.
タンポポの種を
Really,
But he was a
彼女へと飛
disappointment,
ばす
wasn't he, when he came over
彼らは
to
必
your
死に
team?
翼を広げた
No,
ただ
no, he was
草
a
原
youth
の風
academy
はあ
player
ま
for
りにも優
United.
しく
No.
He was massive
足をもつれさせるだ
breakthrough.
けだ
Massive
った
breakthrough. He would have stayed probably his entire career if he hadn't gotten in a fight
吹
with
き荒れる
Alex
強風
Ferguson.
は彼ら
Alex
に自
Ferguson
ら
was
の
the kind
力
of
を見せ
manager
つけ
that
た
was like your dad,
彼
your
らは
god,
勇気を振り絞り
and your
谷から
and your
飛び降り
coach.
う
You
な
know,
る風
like
の中で翼を動かす
he just had a
あの
certain way
空を
about
自由
him.
に
And
飛
once
べ
you
るように
fell
なる
out
ま
with
で
him, you were gone.
ただひ
You
た
know.
すらに
But he would also
そして彼
he
らは
Austin
危機と
had
して
that
風
like
神に
4-year
言った
cycle. Like every 4 years, he'd rip the
風
team
の
up
強
and
さが足
you
りな
know
かったんだと
get new guys in
風神は
and
答えた
start over.
You're saying he was like the Florida
大事
Marlins
なの
of
は強き風ではなく
soccer?
勇気だ
Yeah,
それが
exactly.
君
Like
た
he's
ち
like,
がこの世
okay,
界で
let's
初めて
Every 10
飛ぶ
years,
鳥に
just
したと
hire, like, pay, go full Moneyball, and then get rid of everyone the next year after they win the World Series.
yeah, exactly. And people would be like, what the hell's going on? But he just like could see the forest for the trees. He's really good at knowing when a player was done for United, right?
That's brutal.
You know? Yeah. And there's some pretty tragic stories of him being like, yeah, you're done. Like, you know, like like the players just knew it was over and they're like, I still got 1 or 2 more years. He's like, yeah, but you're done here.
Yeah, but I can't afford to pay you.
Yeah. Like
It's like,
Berbatov
it's like
is
the George Clooney film, you know, the one where he has to go fire people. He just flies around the country. He's just got that with his own team.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, like we had I mean, Van Nistelrooy comes to mind. Like Van Nistelrooy injured his knee, and so he didn't come when he was supposed to, and then he ends up coming later on. He was a great goal scorer, was there for a couple of seasons, and then he just started to taper off a little bit. And Alex Ferguson's like, you're done. And like Van Nistelrooy like told the story about how he like basically got moved in like the reserve team, and like it was kind of like a silent firing, and he had to go. He was told to go find another club, and he was just like heartbroken. But Alex Ferguson, man, he was fucking ruthless, dude. Like 110% and he knew he had to keep a team hungry. So every once in a while, we'd win a league, and he'd just be like, "I'm gonna get rid of the biggest dick on the block and like sell him, so that everybody else knows that they're like."
They know that they're all expendable.
Yeah. We bought Rio Ferdinand at the time. He was a center back, English center back. He was like a world record fee at the time.
あそこのお
And
姉
like
さ
one
ん
of
は
his first
手を
days
振っ
of
てるぞ
training, he's hanging out with
冒険者
Cole,
いえいえ
and he
優
was
秀
like,
な冒あなた
he's
から
like,
で
Rio, come over here. And he's
彼
like,
女と
okay,
一
yeah,
緒にい
you know,
る
yes, boss, what's
あ
up?
で
He's
も
like, you
冒
like
険
you
者
like
に
being
と
here
って
so
素
far?
質
He's
より
like,
も
yeah.
冒険経
And
験を
he's
積み
like,
重
you
ねる
getting
こと
along
で
with the
早
lads?
速
And he's like, yeah, I think so. Everybody's been
安心してくだ
really,
さい。
been really cool. It's been a great first training day. He's like,
教
well, if
会
you
に
want
入
to be
ったら
here
メ
for
リ
a
ットだ
while,
らけ
don't be hanging out
デ
with
メリッ
him
トはあ
because
り
he's
ま
on
せん
his way
と
out.
にかくこれは
It was
教
like,
会から
whoa,
新人
wait,
を
he doesn't know it yet, but he's on his way out, so I wouldn't get too comfortable with Cole. And it's like, oh shit, dude. Like, damn. But he just knew. He was like,
It's like,
No,
I gotta do
be
this.
ruthless,
改
bro.
めて入会
Yeah,
これは
if you want to be the
あなたの
best, you
冒険
gotta.
の証で
He's
す
like he's lost it because Cole won a bunch of shit. Like what else did he have to prove? You know,
Yeah. Also,
he
thank
was
you for
there in
the
the
lemons,
99
half German
treble.
Groiper.
Yeah, dude. Thanks, half German
Thank you,
Groiper
half
for
German.
ones.
That
But yeah, he just
told him,
knew
like, that
that like,
guy's getting
hey, he won a
fired.
bunch of shit. He's not hungry anymore.
新人
It's
の加
time
入
for him
こ
to
れに
go.
は会員のそれと
You
も
know,
う一つ
as a
冒
Lakers
険
fan,
ランクその
like
時は
I actually is one of the few people that
報奨に
wasn't
冒険
mad at
ラン
the
ク今はまだ
massive
では
contract we
頑張って
gave to
ください
Kobe
ね
at the end of his
冒険者さ
career.
ん星と深
Because
淵
I
を目
was
指
I was kind of like I get it, he's old, you know, but like I felt like, you know, he'd been playing with the team for 17 years, and if we're gonna be bad for a little and overpay for someone, you know,
Might as well be him, right?
yeah, might as well, you know. And this is, mind you, before I knew he was gonna die, and after he retired, and like, of course, it was just like, it was like, I think that's not worthless, because there is the aspect of you be ruthless, you get everyone you need exactly when you need, and you do everything you can to win. But I think there's also not an intangible, but like, players watch how other players are treated by teams.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%,
You know, and I think,
yeah.
I think that might have pushed, like, Anthony Davis, you know, to join the Lakers, you know, going like, look, if I give them a lot of good years and show my loyalty, you know, when I'm in the dumps or I'm in trouble, they'll back me, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you want to keep some like old heads around that know what the standards are at the club. Like, for example, Ryan Giggs, one of the guys who was one of the last guys to break out in the class of '92. He was there until he was like 40, you know, like, which is pretty crazy, right? For like a winger to stick around for that long.
How many years
I mean,
is that in soccer years?
I mean, basically, he was an old man when he left. You know what I mean? We fired our coach the last year that he played. We fired our coach that was Alex Ferguson's replacement mid-season, and then Ryan Giggs kind of took over as player manager for the last handful of games at the end of the season. So he'd come out in a suit and tie, and then he'd sub himself in. You know?
It's like a player. I love the concept of player managers, and I hate that it's gone. Like the idea of like a 40-year-old dude like going out to the mound or going out to like right field, you know, and just like, no, you're out. I'm gonna get me in there, you know, like the Pete Rose and like judge what you want about Pete Rose, obviously, but like the idea that Pete Rose is like a grizzled old like man who's just too competitive for his own fucking good, just like, no, fuck it, I'm getting out there, I'm 43, I'm gonna go play.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking hilarious. But yeah, Ryan Giggs manages Wales now.
I didn't know he helped fat girls find dates. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking Welsh. But yeah, yeah, he was there forever. I mean, he's the most decorated British like footballer of all time. His guy's literally won everything more than once, so
Won
pretty
everything?
ridiculous. Yeah,
So you mean,
anything
like,
you
he
can
won like
possibly
the
win.
championship in their league, basically.
Won the Premier League, won the European Champions League, won multiple Premier League, multiple European Champions Leagues, multiple FA Cups, which is like the Intercontinental Cup.
Like the Football Association leagues or something, or
Well, the FA Cup is like the oldest English tournament. So the way it works is it's like an inter-league tournament. So you have clubs from multiple divisions playing each other in a bracket-style tournament. Now, the lower clubs kind of have to climb their way to the top. But, I mean, United have played teams where, like, they don't even have bathrooms at their stadiums. They have, like, 10,000, 7,000 bleachers. They're, like, basically look like a high school football field. That's what they play on.
it's a big
like,
high school football field.
yeah, like like maybe 7,000 seats at the most. I mean,
that's a lot. Like the high school I went to, we had probably standing room for maybe 1,000 people, and we probably had bleachers for maybe 100 people.
really, that's pretty tiny. Yeah.
I mean,
like
our football field was like had a track field adjacent to
鬼
it,
を殺す
basically.
まじないがあるんだ
I guess I kind of spoiled because like growing up in the Midwest, being so close. To,
Well,
like,
but you gotta understand, I'm in
all the
SoCal, and my school was not a football school. Like, we were like the football team that like everyone were like, oh, good, we can rest our players, we can have like our younger players all play.
Yeah, I grew up in like Michigan and Indiana, so like you've got like all the colleges, you know what I mean? They're all feeding in from these high schools, local high schools. So like the high schools were like big football teams. You got Notre Dame about 40 minutes away, Purdue like an hour or two away, you know, IU, Michigan, Michigan State, you know what I mean? So like these Michigan, like people don't realize the Big House is like 100,000 capacity stadium.
Oh yeah, college football has crazy amounts of, like, college football is a very weird business to look at because it's just like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually went to the Big House in Ann Arbor to see Manchester United play Real Madrid, and it was packed. It was like standing room only. There was over 100,000 people there. It was absolutely bonkers, man. I remember like ESPN tried to set up one of those like plastic domes and those mobile sets that they put out in like the parking lot outside of stadiums. And people were climbing over the plastic like walls and shit like that, and running onto the stage and like partying with like the reporters and shit like that. It got fucking wild, bro.
That is wild. Also, Gnostic, thank you for the ice cream, sir. I remember a couple years back, the World Baseball Classic was playing in Anaheim.
Oh,
at
nice.
The Angel Stadium. And I think I got to watch U.S. and Japan, and like I just watched like 3 games in a day. It was really cool.
Oh, it was always
you got to see all these
man.
international players I knew, and all this completely unknown talent that was there as well.
I was fortunate enough when I was in Denver to go to the homegrown MLS versus Club America's Youth Academy. Club America is like a really big Mexican team. They're like the biggest Mexican team out there in the Liga MX, and they've got a really good youth academy. And it was like all U.S. local boys across the United States and from different youth academies in the MLS, like playing against them, and that was really, really cool. There's some really good like young Americans playing. There's some really good young Mexican guys playing, and it was just kind of like a small. There was like, you know, it wasn't sold out or anything, but it was pretty fun to like see these guys, like all this like raw talent, you know, playing.
Yeah,
all the raw talent.
When baseball wasn't committing itself so much to social justice causes, I would always I usually tried like in the summer to get to like go to Arizona and watch some like preseason games.
Yeah,
so it was fun to like just go watch an Arizona Summer League game. Like the tickets are super cheap. You just hang out, have fun, you know.
Exactly.
These tiny fields, but now it's just like Arizona's hot as balls for one, and it's just like
you really want to put yourself through all that bullshit?
Yeah, it's like I gotta go drive. I mean, I'm not gonna fly to Arizona to watch, you know, pre-season games, but I'll drive 8 hours, you know, to go and like hang out and chill. But like, makes me so mad with what's happening with sports.
Well, you know, the Premier League's kind of done a good job where they haven't gotten super obnoxious with it. They kind of were when the sport came back after lockdown. They had that weekend or whatever where everybody's names were changed to Black Lives Matter, which is fucking ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. I brought this up on my show, but there was a bit by Rush Limbaugh where he talked about like his time working with the Kansas City Royals and their marketing department.
Oh, interesting.
And his story was they had like a Harvard sociologist or someone came in, and he said to them, all right, look, what is the one thing that makes sports special? You know, they all brought up these things like, oh, and he's like, oh, and eventually he goes, all right, I'll tell you what it is. The thing that makes sports special is that it's the one thing you can commit to with total passion with no consequences.
Yeah, that's kind of true, yeah.
And then he quipped, try that with a woman.
Oh, no.
But I mean, it's true, isn't it? Like, I mean,
yeah.
You could be a grown... Like, Adolf, you could be a grown man in the afternoon wearing what is essentially a costume for your favorite team of... You know, for a job you don't even want and will never have, right? Like, in the middle, you could be walking in the middle of the street, and people will look at you and not go, "Oh, look at this child walking around, you know, dressed in a costume." It's just, "Oh, hey, a Man U fan," right?
Yeah.
You know, like,
exactly.
But But what they've done, you know, with these like protests and like saying you can't be like a Lakers fan if you don't support this, or you can't be, you know, a Yankees fan if you don't believe in our cause here, or support this Marxist education, this Marxist indoctrination thing. It's like they're saying that they're like taking away what makes sports special, and I'm concerned that once they kill, and this is mostly an American problem, fortunately, I guess. It's unfortunate that it's happening, but it's fortunate that it's kind of contained. But like, once you break this thing, how do you get it back?
I don't know,
if they can
man. Like
backtrack.
over there, they've been just doing like at the beginning of the whistle, they might kneel for like a couple of seconds, so that's about it. But even then, it's not kneeling for an anthem. It's not kneeling for anything like that. There's nobody.
I didn't know they
like-
stood in solidarity with Derek Chauvin.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, God. But like even our like Marcus Rashford is kind of an activist player that we have at United, but he's not like posting Black Lives Matter stuff. He's literally just going and doing his own food campaign. He's like, hey, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is and actually start my own foundation to feed kids.
Yeah,
You can't be
see,
too
this
mad
is
at
why
that.
I've never criticized LeBron James for opening that school in Ohio. Like, I would never criticize anyone that wants to help their communities or people they perceive as their community, or just, you know, help fellow citizens, right? Like, I'm not gonna go,
Yeah,
"Oh,
put your
LeBron
money where your
James."
mouth is, though.
Right,
Like, don't
right,
just
you
sit there
know-
and tweet platitudes at
Right,
me.
you know,
Like,
it's
go
like,
do something.
I
if
could
you're
go like, oh, your the school you spent, you know, millions of dollars to help open takes money from the government. It's like, yeah, but he spent a lot of his own money to make a better situation for kids in his community. Like, I'm never gonna shit on him.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
that. I'm like, good, because this, like, it's not. I'm not saying that's the only way you can do activism. I just think it's the most productive way.
Yeah, if you're a person of power, like, and even Marcus Rashford is like, I'm a person like that has power and money because I'm famous and I make a lot of money playing sports, so I have like the ability to do stuff. He's like, I would never criticize somebody that's not doing what I'm doing because most people can't do what I'm doing.
Most people can't take $1 million and give out food to people. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Most, like, that. That's why it's like, for those people, you know, it's like, just be good in your everyday life, make people's lives better, live good lives. You know, like, that's how normal people do it. But if you're wealthy and you want to help, like, that's the way to help. You know,
何でも私にお任せを
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
non-divisive.
そう
exactly.
いえば何をすれ
Instead
ば
of
よろ
just
しい
sitting
の
there
でしょう
tweeting
か
about it every day
聞い
and
てい
being
ませんでした
a
ね。
Donald Trump reply guy on Twitter, you know, is actually
You
doing
make so many
something.
more people's lives better, like, just by, you know, going to a food kitchen, or, like, you know, just going, even just, you know, talking to someone on the street and just being like, hey, what's up, man? Are you doing okay? You know, talking to a homeless person. Like, I know a shelter I can send you to, you know, I don't have the resources to house you myself, but if you want help, I can direct you to help. No, but...
Yeah, every Christmas, he does the food drive for like Manchester, like where he goes and like feeds homeless people himself. Works in the food kitchen and like brings them supplies and basically helps out.
See, that's
Uh,
really cool. I like that a lot, you know, because, like, it's, you know, you're doing something to help out a cause, and, like,
Yeah.
you're just doing stuff to help, you know, like, I think we all want the homeless to get better. I don't think it's a divisive issue, you know, but...
Yeah, exactly. Well, drugs are a big problem in Manchester, so
Well, oh, yeah,
drugs
are,
and the
Drugs
homeless.
are basically the homeless problem, usually.
Yeah.
You know, usually there are facilities and people that end up homeless because of, you know, losing their job, but it's such a weird issue because, like, to be homeless, you generally have to have, like, broken most of your family connections and, like, or done unforgivable things. You know, I know that sounds callous, but I mean, like, if you were out on the street, Adel, your father or mother would take you in for a short period of time, right? They wouldn't.
Oh
They
yeah,
wouldn't-
I mean,
they,
I'd have
they
a
wouldn't
job
say live under
somewhere,
a
right?
bridge to learn your lesson. They'd be like, look, you're falling on hard times, son. You're a good kid. You know, I know shit happens, right? Your parents would take you back in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm like, you know,
I mean, I'm not saying like they're like.
I've
"Yeah,
slept out
get
of
it."
my car before in high school. I won't go there, but yeah, I mean, I had people looking out for me. I'm resourceful.
Oh, well, that
Resourceful.
too, right? Yeah. I know people that, like, if they were on the street, I'd be like, yeah, you sleep on my couch, you know. And you're not. I'm not having you sleep on the street, you know. I'm not having you sleep in your car, okay?
Yeah. But yeah, I think I don't know. Like a lot of these clubs do have these morality clauses where they have players have to do a certain amount of like charity stuff a year, but most of them do like beyond above and beyond that. One of our players, Juan Mata, has like a percentage challenge thing. I don't remember what it was, but it was like they challenged players to donate 3% of their salary a year to like a charity of like their choice, and then they could challenge other players to donate more. And they basically, like, at the end of the year, they would have like a charity match against each other, all the players that were involved in it.
That's
kind of cool.
Anime Butters. This is Adolwolf. He has a channel, dlive.tv/Adolwolf, and he does game streaming, and every Friday he does Foilcast, a show about conspiracies, myths, truths, all of the above. But back to the conversation. I don't know how I feel about having like a clause where you have to do charity. But like I like when players do it. You know, I love when like the baseball player does like the Make-A-Wish, you know, thing, or you know, like it's like they got the kid there, and it's like, how would you like? Yeah, exactly. There's the link if you want to check him out. Yeah, like you see, like Mike Trout will be there. Yeah, there was a kid that wore like his jersey every day to school for like 3 years, and he went and hung out with him, gave him a baseball, you know, and it was just like, hey, what's up, man?
That's cool. Yeah, like Marcus Rashford, when he broke his back before the lockdown, he had surgery, and then like, you know, he wasn't playing, but he could still kind of get around, and he was like posting on Twitter. He was like, I need books to read, I'm bored. Like, he's like, you can only play so much PlayStation, you know? And like, so he's like reading books, and kids were like sending him books, like recommendations. It's kind of funny. And then you know, kids are always sending him stuff anyway.
Oh yeah, you know, they'll send him letters,
but
they'll send him like drawings.
Yeah, so like one kid was like, hey, can you come and judge our school's like poetry contest and our spelling bee? And he was like, sure, I don't care. So he's like showing up to kids like schools and like judging their spelling bees and poetry contests and stuff, man, just as himself.
That's
Shits and
really
giggles,
fun
dude.
and wholesome.
Yeah.
Was
he
it like
during
it was in like Manchester, like in the community itself?
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I really like when players get that involved.
Can you imagine sitting in your class and Marcus Rashford's like, I'm gonna judge your spelling bee? Like, oh shit. Like, oh no.
Well, I mean,
Like,
when
damn,
you're a
practiced.
kid, you know, all you're thinking about is like, I go out, I kick the ball around for an hour, play soccer at recess, you know, like I'm imagining my favorite player, you know, kicking the game-winning goal.
Yeah, fucking kids are freaking out. Then he learned sign language during lockdown, so he could talk to deaf fans. That's fucking dope.
That's nice. Learn sign language to talk to deaf kids. Wow.
Yeah.
That's always like crazy to me how you teach someone sign language, depending on when you get deaf. Like if I'm trying to imagine like a kid who was born deaf, like how hard it must be to teach like sign language.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you the time that I dated a deaf girl in high school?
Oh no. I mean, I guess no. That's interesting.
So like she had this phone thing. This is really before like everybody had cell phones, because they were still expensive. Like, most high schoolers didn't have cell phones, right? So you couldn't sit there and text. And even if you did have a phone, it would cost you $1 billion to text like we do nowadays. So like she would call me on the system, and then she would like type in, and then the person on the phone. So somebody would call me and be like, "Hey, so and so's calling you. Do you want to accept the call?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then basically she would type on her end into this phone thing, and then they would see the message and they would read it to me. And so she'd be like, hey, I'm gonna be here at like 9, or can you come pick me up at whatever? I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And then they would type it back to her, so she would see it typed up, on their end. And then she would always throw something like extremely inappropriate, like at the end of the phone call before she'd hang up, just so that person would have to say something really uncomfortable.
This chick
and
sounds like she was cool.
I would always apologize to them too. Like, I'm so sorry. She does this all the time. I'm like, it's fine. You would be surprised what we have to type. I'm sure I would.
That's hilarious.
Oh man. Can you imagine having that job and you're just like the middleman, like typing in
Well, I'm just
some,
imagining,
like,
like-
phone sex?
I'm just imagining, Ada Wolf, would you please meet me at the park in 15 minutes? Titty sprinkles.
Oh, dude, it'd be even worse than that. She'd be like, I'm gonna blow you to fucking hell or something like that. You know, just something like really lewd and inappropriate. And it was just like, oh god. And I'd just be like, I'm sorry, telephone person. I'm so sorry.
I want to imagine that they had like the most serious sounding voice ever. You know, it was like we're talking Alfred from like Batman. You know, Master
Is
Ada
phone
Wolf.
sex a popular thing, Anime Butters? I mean, it probably was before texting, yeah. I would say so, yeah.
I'd say texting ruined phone sex.
Oh, yeah. Who wants to do awkward phone sex when you can just, like, text nowadays? Yeah. Yeah, I could imagine working that job and then, like, people want to have, like, phone sex and you're just like, can you deny this call? Can you just be like, I'm not doing this? Like, or you have to. You'd probably have to, right? Like,
I mean,
the
it's probably a
ADL would be all over you.
Yeah, it's probably a discrimination lawsuit today.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
what are you, some kind of
discrimination out the
bigot?
ass.
You don't want to say lewd things for this
飛ぶとき
person?
は最
Yeah.
長うん
And then you will insert your thunder stick within her urethra. Wait a minute. It's a very different conversation.
Yeah, my buddy's in a wheelchair and he always laughs at people that cry about being in wheelchairs. Like, he's always like, oh yeah, you know, like, you know, when people are like, I should be able to do this because I'm in a wheelchair, and he's like, no, you shouldn't. That the reason that you can't do this is because you are in a wheelchair. He's like, I'm not gonna go race Usain Bolt anytime soon because my legs don't fucking work, dude. Like,
But what if he had
there's
like a
just things I
cyborg
can and can't
wheelchair?
do.
He might
Like,
race
it don't-
Usain Bolt. You know, if he had like a super wheelchair, imagine
ご
that.
次のテスト
Right,
の
well,
問答状
fucking
態だよ
rock. Yeah, exactly,
Fucking eat
Spencer. Like,
it,
yeah,
but
Spencer's uses crutches, dude. Yeah, see, like, yeah, you're not gonna
Yes.
sit there and cry that you can't join your high school track team because you're on crutches. Like,
Right,
what
right.
are
I'm
you
not gonna be
fucking-
like, I can't long jump when I'm on crutches. I'm gonna be like, dude,
Yeah.
like, I'm injured, or I, have a crippling condition. And Genkai Hiretsu, thank you for the ice cream, sir.
Oh, nice, 2 ice creams. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of stupid. Like, he's always like making fun of those people.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like, if anyone, I don't go by the whole only X person can make fun of people because I think it's dumb. I think the litmus.
Oh
test
no, I
should
make
be-
fun of him all the time.
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
Whenever
yeah,
he talks
yeah.
shit to me, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking wheel
You should
you
be
onto
like,
the
hey,
beaches
I
of
won't
Liverpool
stand
and
for
leave you
this,
there.
man.
I'm gonna put your brakes on and leave you in the sun. You know, I gotta say that shit.
Go to a
to him.
staircase and leave him at the bottom of it.
Yeah, dude, exactly. God, I told him I was gonna push him down the stairs. He's like, maybe it'll fix my spine. Shit, dude. Fucking asshole.
Maybe it'll-
Dude, he's so fun. I gotta get him on sometime. Play some FIFA like real late at night. Like, he's a fucking barrel of laughs.
Is he
He's
one
got
of your
such a
footy
thick
friends?
Manchester accent.
He's
Yeah.
one of your foot friends. Yeah, that sounds a lot
Yeah.
better than I intended it to be.
Well, like my buddy from Final Fantasy 11, I've known him for like 10 plus years. I've hung out with him in real life a bunch of times. But he met this guy playing Pro Evolution Soccer online on like the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 2 way back in the day. So we all just hang out and kind of talk about United. We have like a WhatsApp group. And so I became friends with him and stuff too. The guy's fucking wild. But he has such a thick Manchester accent, you just get a fucking laugh out of anything he says. You'd be like, I need subtitles for this guy. Like, I'm used to it now, you know, but like most people are like, I don't even understand what the fuck he's saying. Like,
Oi, listen, have some kippa and.
have you heard a Manchester accent? It's fucking thick, man.
I
It's
actually have
fucking
not heard
thick.
a Manchester accent.
Oh, it's so thick. It's so identifiable. It's different than any other English accent. They have their own like slang words and stuff too that's not used anywhere else. It's fucking hilarious.
I like slang words.
Oh, dude.
I love in Japanese, like yabai is one of my favorite slang words, or what was the other one? It was oh, I should never remember this one. God damn it. Yeah, this guy.
But even Japan's kind of like that. Like Tokyo has its own slang that if you were to like use it outside, people would like know what you mean, but they would look at you
Well,
weird, you know?
Tokyo has a lot. Japan has a lot of dialects. I think Tokyo is
Right.
kind of like the standard, more or less. But like, if you go to like Okinawa has a very famous dialect. It has a very famous like dialect there. Like, it's very
Yeah,
well known.
it's kind of like the Southern Japanese, right?
Exactly. They have a lot. It's a lot less, a lot more informal. You know, but it's just it's very well known and very like it's like it'd be like it'd be like someone walked up with like a Southern drawl. You know, like it's that's how ubiquitous the Okinawan accent is there. But there's dialects like everywhere. I had my high school Japanese professor. He had a chart of like 200 different like local dialects that he had studied. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, our manager, it's kind of funny because he's Norwegian, but he spent so much time in Manchester.
He's developed a Manchester accent.
Well, it's like this Norwegian accent with Manchester like slang words that he uses sometimes, and it's fucking funny. Like there's somebody like Mikey was telling me, he's like being from Manchester, living there his whole life, you know, in the area. He's like it's the weirdest combo I've ever heard. Like I guess I'm just so used to just hearing him speak, it just sounds like him to me. But like he's just like laughing all the time in the press conference. What the fuck?
People are laughing at his accent, kind of.
Yeah,
Or
because
that
it's just like,
accent
oh,
was
he's
his
using these weird
combination of,
words
like-
with this Norwegian accent.
Not a Norwegian uncle.
メイドの礼儀に気をつけます
Like a Norwegian accent. That's
Ole
funny.
Gunnar Solskjaer is fucking great. I feel bad we lost that game yesterday. It was like horrible, but Liverpool, not to be beaten by us, decided to go and lose 7-2.
So it's not so bad.
Yeah, it kind of takes the sting off, right? You know?
I mean, you still never like to watch your team lose. But
Yeah. It's like losing a race, but the guy who lost worse than you, just behind you, like also shit his pants. So it's like he not only was he placed right behind me in this race, but he also shit his pants. So that's kind of funny.
It's like in have you ever seen the movie Meatballs?
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, you're there. You're at the end of the game. You're gonna lose, but
任せて
you've all decided. You know what?
岩の重
How
さは
about
安
this?
心
We'll just pull their pants down, and we may not win, but we're also gonna lose by less.
That's so funny. Dude, funny, the other day, Tottenham were playing, and Eric Dyer, player for Tottenham, like, ran off the field and ran into, like, the bathroom, and, like, the manager followed him. I was, like, yelling at him, like, Eric, what are you doing? Dude, apparently he had to take a massive shit. And after the game, the manager is asked about it, and he's like, whatever Eric Dyer did to that toilet, it's not human. And
wait,
like
someone
Eric
in the
Dyer got
chat
like
just
man of the
said
match
that-
or something like that, and he was like, I'm gonna give this man of the match award to the toilet. I was like, this is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
That's
Dude, back in the day, in like the 70s and 80s, it wasn't uncommon for the goalkeeper to just take a fucking leap behind the post. Like, that used to happen all the
the
time.
fuck? Seriously?
Yeah, dude, yeah, seriously.
Aren't there like decency laws in the UK that would make you not want to do that?
I mean, you like you can't really see anything. Like, you're-
Whoa.
you got the advertising board up that's like covering, you know, you're just taking a leak against the post. Wasn't really on TV very often, you know, only big games were really on TV, so what's the harm in it, you know? Taking a fucking leak behind the post, bro.
Oh shit! Larry Ridgway with the host with 5 viewers. Thank you, Larry.
I love that name, that's great.
Larry Ridgway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's a co-host for Ralph on Thursdays, and he runs his own show. I've been
Oh,
on.
nice,
I've been on there
nice.
before as well. We don't really agree on everything, dude. Anime Putters asks, can we all get a moment of silence for Coco? Talking, of course, about Kiryu Coco, who was suspended for 3 weeks for saying that Taiwan exists.
Dude, that was just, like, at least she was suspended and not, like, I don't know, permanently banned. I'm surprised they didn't permanently ban her.
I'm surprised too. The other girl was Akai Hato as well. And of course, Larry. TVive.tv/Larry.Ridgway. It's definitely a channel you want to check out.
見たことない
Yeah, no,
ものがたく
I just
さん
saw that and was like, what what was it for? And it's because basically I'm sure China just said, if you don't ban Coco, or if you don't suspend Coco, we're gonna kick all your VTubers off our site. And apparently the Chinese like VTubers as well.
Well, everybody kind of does. But yeah, I feel bad. Like I haven't really been watching a lot of Ralph or anybody else, but really you guys here and there. Like I've been doing my thing online, and then I shut it off. I shut it off and I disappear. Like A, it's been good for my mental health. B, I've been like going to sleep at regular times. You know.
I don't know when's the last time I fell asleep at a regular time.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. Like I've just been like, oh, I gotta like.
Well, that's good, man. That's good for your health, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've been kind of missing out on Ralph lately. I know he was suspended for a little bit on D-Live.
Well, he played the video of Frank Hassel announcing the Hassel Doctrine and also saying certain naughty word.
Yeah, he said some gamer words, I guess.
A bunch of, like, D-Live, what do they call it? I guess hall monitors were like, Ghost does not sleep. Yeah, of course I don't sleep. A bunch of internet hall monitors basically were like, oh, hey, you know, he said, this was said on his stream and got him suspended for 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Ralph because A, it was like something somebody else said. Like, I could get it if, like, he said it or, like,
and it's not like Ralph specifically played that clip to have Frank
Yeah, it's not like he was putting it on repeat.
He was talking about an internet story, you know, involving internet spurgs that have both been on his show. Like,
yeah,
it was relevant.
When I got more context of it, I was a little bit more against D-Live. Like before, I was kind of like, well, it sucks, but I understand like D-Live's under a lot of pressure, from like the Ralph crew like puts a lot of like pressure on them, and then like they're doing the best they can to work together. Like I get that, but then yeah, when I saw that it was like from the news story, I was like, that
to me is like, hold on, guys, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no. So I retract my earlier hot take, I guess, because I didn't have the full context. But you know what we always say in sports, don't make the referee have to make a tough call. You know, if you put him in a tough position, it's almost always going to go against you, right?
Yeah, no,
one of
I
those type of things.
That. But on the other hand,
but it wasn't that.
Yeah,
so
no,
I was like.
And I understand, making like the initial hot take and being like, well, there are rules, and like that is the one thing I like about D-Live is they at least are clear about their rules.
Yeah.
Not maybe as direct as I'd like them to be, but like at least I can discern what their freaking rules are,
Yeah.
Like I know I can't say these words because they're scared of losing their payment processors. But
yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do for movie night this Saturday because I'm out of Japanese Spider-Man.
Oh,
kind of sucks.
I think I'll be able to make Japanese Spider-Man this week, but
we're out of it. We watched the whole thing.
Sorry. I meant movie night.
Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna watch.
But I am doing Pei's Battle Royale this weekend, this Saturday, because I meant to do it like the last 2 weeks, but it's like I had D&D this week. The last week, and then the week before I had my LAN party, and the week before that I had D&D. So it's like this week it's like, okay, I don't have anything to do this week, so now I can finally do a show, which will be good. And I think I'll have my VTuber avatar done by then, which you can see in the sides all the work that's being done there. I do need a standard outfit, so I've commissioned another artist, dlive.tv/Kuya. And I was like, okay, look, I want to use like transparency in a clever way. I want to kind of maybe use like the Pac-Man ghost aesthetic in a way. Like I just want like a cool generic outfit,
Yeah.
Gargara has like her shark sweatshirt, or Mori has her just like stacked outfit. I need something that works, Because I can't be a bunny girl all the time. That's only for interview night. I do like that he drew like a little cigar and like glass of like champagne for my little ghost, dude.
That's pretty awesome.
I told him, I was like, my thing was like, all right, think like Johnny Carson. I don't know if that translates for a UK person. But I think he's also gonna do my my planned like 3D interview VR room kind of that I want to do.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because I kind of want to be like actually physically walking around, you know, and like VR and shit. Although I have been playing Star Wars Squad Wars, and that has been a lot of fun in VR.
How is that?
I like it.
How is that?
Because I've got a joystick and a thruster as well as my VR headset. So like I'm in my X-wing cockpit and I can like look left and right and like see ahead of time like where I need to go to like track down a TIE fighter. Or something, and like I really like it. It controls pretty well. There's times where I'm just fucking frustrated. Where I'm like, no matter what I do, you know, I'm just getting like, it's not very good at communicating like what you did wrong, I guess. So like, I'll fly to a zone and like maybe I just got pelted by a capital ship, but I don't know that. I might have just gotten like swarmed by TIE fighters. And the squad controls could be much better as well. But I've enjoyed my time playing it. I don't think the campaign's going to be that long, but we'll see. Yeah, and lastly, it needs more ships.
Fucking Fire Emblem, man, like crazy.
Oh yeah, totally. How you liking it? Oh, I mean, you've played it before.
Yeah, no, this is my first playthrough. It's going okay. It's going okay. I mean, Jesus Christ, I've jumped like almost like 80 hours into like what everybody says is the shorter campaign. So I can't imagine.
You mean the Black Lions?
The Black Eagle, yeah,
Black Eagle,
Black Eagle. Yeah, the Black Eagle house, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess it's only 18 chapters or whatever. And like,
I did Black Eagle first because I thought Edelgard was the cutest, so I was like, yes.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, all right, we're going with Thigh Queen Edelgard, and then it's like, then I went, I think, I did Yellow. I did what's it called? Yellow.
The Golden Deer.
Golden Deer. I did Golden Deer after that, which is pretty fun as well.
I want to do the DLC house.
I do want to do the DLC house. But I gotta finish up Blue. I can't remember what the houses is. The Blue
I guess
Lions?
it unlocks new jobs, like new like, classes. If you finish the first chapter of the Ash and Wolves one, yeah, then you can recruit
you know what I
them to
didn't
whatever
like?
house you join.
I really didn't like that when you hired the merchant, like you don't get any like dialogue options or anything, or any like relationship.
Yeah, she's like the only one that they didn't give any extra stuff to. Yeah.
So it just feels like, wait, what?
Yeah. Apparently, the Ash and Wolves have the extra house from that you get the DLC or whatever. Apparently, they have like full romance options and everything. So.
Well, I like that they did all that, but it's so weird because it's like, oh, it's basically like a house you could have ignored playing through the main story, and it's like, wait, how is this relevant to the main story if I could have literally just not even seen them?
Yeah, I guess they live like in the underground. Yeah, it's fucking weird. Yeah.
It's weird. That would like I remember I was reading about this. I'm like, what do you even mean? What? How?
Yeah, how could they have not been like seen before? Nobody knew about.
Like this would be like if in Harry Potter it was like, oh, and then there's House Grumbleraven. That's just under the entire, you know, under Hogwarts, and they're completely part of the school. Everyone knows they exist, but you just somehow ignored their existence. I'm actually gonna sign off in 3 minutes, Tango.
Gonna go back to work.
Yeah, I gotta get back to work. I was able to go a little long on lunch, more or less. But that's kind of like the equivalent, you know, of like just like if Harry Potter was like, oh yeah, the 5th house of Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the 5th house. That
you never heard about. Like, it'd be like if
in the janitor's closet, you know, like nobody talks about them.
But it'd be like if in the 5th book they just said, "Oh, there's the 5th house." Yeah, it'd be like Harry Potter and the 5th house. It just like everyone's
and
like,
nobody acted like that was like a new thing, and everybody acted like, "Oh yeah, you didn't know they were there, idiot, dummy. What are you talking about? You didn't know about this?"
Yeah, Harry, how did you? Well, no, like Harry would also be acting like he just knew, and just like the reader would just be like, "Wait, what the hell is going on?"
Exactly. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah,
hilarious.
It's funny. I just remember I heard that was the concept, and I was like, why not like some end of game DLC or something? I mean, that's always complicated because, like, you know, it's a Fire Emblem game, so everyone dies or you know has to go away, exile or whatever.
Right.
I was I hope they do a sequel for it.
That would be cool.
I don't know how you could
助けが必要な方がい
incorporate
るは
what
ずです
happened in the game in a sequel. Like that sounds like a Mass Effect level mess, you know? Or I'm not
Tango
muted.
says you're muted. You're muted.
I'm not muted, Tango. I bet you if I go in here and I turn my audio on. Yeah, I'm not muted. Nice try, Tango. I'm not falling for your dirty tricks, Tango. Trust you, bro. I trust you for stories. Alright, well, my lunch break's about over. I'll chat with you a bit more, Ada Wolf, but I gotta go offline.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go get something to eat, man. So like, you go do what you gotta do,
Perfect.
brother.
Everyone go follow dlive.tv/AdaWolf. AdaWolf, thanks for the chat. We'll get to some Bloodborne sometime. Everyone have a great day. I'll see you all probably in about 7 hours or so. Have a good night, Anime Butters, Tango Whiskey, Larry Ridgway, thank you for the host, AdaWolf, thank you for the host, and thank you for all the lemons today. Have a great one.
Yeah, take care, DB.